Picasso had a Dupont lighter, and he put some engravings on this lighter to give to a friend. And recently we did a limited edition copying these engravings. Well, St. Dupont is a luxury brand. It's a brand that first started in 1872, mainly as a leather goods manufacturer, producing very, very high quality leather goods for the most famous people in the world. For example, the gift of the French Republic to Queen Elizabeth II on her marriage was a Dupont travelling case, and we are St. Dupont, named after the founder, Simon Tissot Dupont, from the Alps, from Savoie. Dupont is quoted on the Paris Stock Exchange. It's about 44% of its capital, and the other 56% is held by Mr. Dixon Poon, who is well known in the world of luxury business.
Before that, was it a family-owned company?
It was family-owned up until 1971.
Why did they decide to sell, if you don't mind me?
The family?
Yeah.
Oh, very simple. Dupont invented the first disposable lighter.
Yes.
And Gillette saw it as a nice addition to its distribution.
Yes.
And the family understood that the investment necessary to really go worldwide with this disposable lighter was probably beyond it. In the pen business, people want to buy a product which works. It's not necessarily just the design. There are very few brands who master conception, development, the technical side, have the distribution, and also can ensure a worldwide after-sales service.
What is the psychology of producing a luxury pen? What is it supposed to look like? What is it supposed to feel like?
If you're talking about a fountain pen, take off the nib, have a look inside, and look at the finishing inside. You can make a nice finish on the outside, but have a look at the way it's actually built and finished on the inside, the tolerances and so on. Secondly, I'd have a very, very good look at the nib. Inside, you have a certain number of items which are very important, which go together with the nib. It's actually quite complicated because the ink has to come nicely onto the nib, without leaking, and but at a rate which enables you to write properly. And you also, as the ink comes out, you have to let air back into the reservoir, but not too much, because otherwise you could have leakages.
Yes.
Thirdly, take the clip on the pen and feel how the clip is sprung, how it's done. Feel how it works. Low-value pens, you can actually hear it. This is a ballpoint, but turn the mechanism and see how it feels. Part of a good pen is that it turns nicely, the thing works, the ink flows properly, it writes nicely, it's robust, the clip is not going to fall off, and you've got a nice design, and you know it's been made with top quality material. Our pens are made from metal, okay? They're not plastic. The inside is bronze. We have techniques of finishing which are, I believe, are far superior to anybody else. The design you have on your pen there, which is made by a machine, you have to understand that the machine, when it bites into the metal to create the design, it has to be at a certain depth, certain length, it shouldn't shiver, and it should be at the same depth all the way along. Now, I know this, most consumers are not going to look really in detail at it, but if you do look at it in detail, you can see there's a lot of brands will close up There's shivering in the cuts in the metal, and things like that. These are extremely robust pens. The exterior here is in real Chinese lacquer. It resists very well. If you scratch it a little bit, it's an organic element. It will close up.
It started with King Louis. Why do you think that they are so manic about the detail?
The French think that certain things are important. Important is conviviality, eating, discussing with people, and sharing a bottle of wine or whatever. And I think they think that's important, and you should take your time on it, and therefore attention to detail is fundamental. I know one luxury goods group that sent its senior executives to the best restaurant, or one of the best restaurants in Paris, to learn what it meant to have attention to detail. This was told to me by the owner of the restaurant, and it was a restaurant which Jacques Chirac dined one evening with Bill Clinton. This is just before he was re-elected. When it came to the end of the meal, the owner of the restaurant had produced his cigars, but he'd taken off the wrappers because they were all Cubans. And Bill Clinton said, okay, he said, well, he took a couple of cigars and he put them in his pocket and said, well, I think I'll wait until after the election before I smoke them.